Don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. Make sure to get those predictions in the chat. If you are just chilling, you're just waiting for this Cap Kingdom to kick off, you want to grab some prediction points in the pool. It's very important. Pool Cap bucks. A pretty rare form of currency. Most crypto going down. Pool Cat Gang bucks only going up through the roof to the moon. More stable than any other coin on the planet. But Mario here, heading off into Cap. It's really going to be a test of Sledge's skill here. Can he keep up with the gamer EEEK? EEEK is kind of a juggernaut in the scene. He's been around forever, done a lot of racing. Sledge, no, you know, not shying away from the races either. Definitely in a lot of tournaments. Has a pretty solid time in any percent for sure, but getting sort of an upper echelon once you get that 59, the 58 even. EEEK is knocking on the door of a 57. It's definitely going to be a tough hill to climb for Sledge, but I mean, look at that grin on his face. He's definitely eager. Both players having the webcams. You'll love to see it. Always smiling. Beautiful stuff. Players blasting off into Cap here. I didn't quite see what EEEK did, but Sledge going for the vault setup for a left side. EEEK just pulling ahead a couple of seconds here in Cap, and unless there's any big mistakes out of EEEK or Sledge just plays completely out of his mind, I think this might be the trend for the rest of the game. A couple seconds in each kingdom. Racking up for EEEK, but we'll see if he's able to keep it together as we blast off to Cascade. EEEK right now sitting at number 4 on the leaderboard. Very close to Lightron, but Lightron will have to get a huge chunk of points in his next race in order to get that 4th place. EEEK would really have to drop the ball if it were to be a, you know, kind of bop situation. EEEK getting overtaken by Lightron. Lightron is going up against Jambo next, so that's gonna be a hot match, but it's also gonna be very, very difficult for Lightron to see how he fares later on in the day. Timer has not started. Very cool. Just live split things. Running the timers was much, much easier when I stopped speedrunning for like 5 months. But anyways, blasted back into the race. Dino skip not going so well for our boy Sledge, unfortunately. Taking a little bit of a tumble there, having to back it up. Turning around the Dino, but luckily making it work relatively quickly. It's just kind of a rough start, unfortunately, for Sledge. Regardless, Madame Brutal being taken on both sides here. EEEK going for that chest clip. I think we'll see Sledge opt to go for top the cliff, and indeed he does. Ooh, taking a bonk, though. That's a bit unfortunate. Not getting the boost out of the pound. That is really, really rough. So we're taking off to Sand Kingdom here. And I am very, very excited to see whether these runners are going to go for the new routing. I'd honestly throw it up in the air for either player. I think both players are definitely capable of picking up a new route quickly. I don't think we've seen if either player's done it yet, but we are about to. Gonna take us a few moons, of course, to figure out whether or not that's gonna be happening. EEEK gonna be going for reverse town here. I think Sledge will probably opt to go for normal town movement. Pretty snazzy optimization. Saves very little time. Mainly makes the bird movement a lot more difficult from what I've heard. I think one of my favorite parts about speedrunning and playing this game in general is how collecting a moon refreshes like your quote-unquote abilities, right? Your dives and your cap throws. Kind of resets Mario's cooldowns, so to speak, which is really, really cool for chaining together different sorts of moves. EEEK grabbing that bird, no problem. As we expected, Sledge opting to go for the normal town movement. No shame in that for sure. Definitely a more consistent strat. Kind of get the birds served up to you on a platter as opposed to having to do some gymnastics in order to grab them. But EEEK here are going to be heading up to the platform area, which is where the new routing comes into play. Andram looking hot for EEEK. It does opt to go for the new routing, it seems. A Sledge having some troubles here, not connecting with the Sandram. Gonna have to be going for some other backup movement, unfortunately. EEEK onto reverse Jaxie already. Oh my god, I was so scared for Sledge there. That could have definitely been a disaster, but luckily avoided it. You gotta be going for the standard sand movement here. Almost taking a dive there, that was a bit rough. EEEK collecting the bullet bill moon there, and gonna be moving over to platform clip. I haven't seen someone miss this yet in a race, so we'll see how consistent runners are with this. It seems like it's a pretty consistent strategy. As I say that, cursing EEEK, making him miss the trick, bonking into the wall next to the icicle. It's quite a bit of time lost there. Definitely something that Sledge could potentially capitalize on. Really needs to get this clip this time. Alright, and does make it out of bounds this time around. Oh my god, I'm so scared for EEEK right now. Captures are being taken, but we have remained out of bounds, so not the end of the world. Always love to see Mario just rolling out of the Sphinx's stomach there. Very standard stuff. Yeeting the sheep to end off the Sand Kingdom. So not giving Sledge enough time to really catch up, per se, but definitely giving a little bit of breathing room. Sledge, perhaps, feeling a little bit more confident. EEEK apparently in love with the clip that he missed. I mean, sometimes, you know, the clip, it's going to play hard to get. I mean, especially if you're just, you know, out there and openly, you know, professing your love to it. Might want to have to play hard to get, you know, yourself. You know, a little bit of push and pull. Question mark? I don't even know what I'm saying. Anyways, Sand Kingdom being ended here for both players. Heading off to Lake. Didn't forget about Lake Kingdom this time. Although sometimes it can feel like a bit of an afterthought. But he's gonna have to keep Lake Clip under control here to maintain this solid lead he's got going. Lake Clip upcoming here. This is going to be kind of the big deal. Making Lake Clip work here, so Sledge not having any breathing room there, unfortunately, but we'll see if he's able to keep par here, because having a bad Lake Clip obviously going to slip him a little bit further behind. Having a little bit trouble setting it up here. Let's get it eventually, though. Oh my god. The strange bonk there from Sledge, getting stuck up on the little edge there. Trouble's capturing the fish as well, as EEEK is globing out of Lake Kingdom with a pretty sizable lead here at this point. The lead growing in Lake. We are coming up to Wooded. Wooded is the kingdom we can see any player take a tumble on for sure. And a pretty sizable one of that. If you're missing Nut Clip, you're losing a chunk of time. It is not a little time loss. You gotta do a complete reroute of the kingdom. And it is not pretty. Oh, okay, Sledge trying to talk the lady through the wall. Does, in fact, manage to do it. Not saving any time, though, I don't think. But, you know, it's something. A little bit of show of skill right there. Have to start tallying up the swag points, perhaps. Grabbing the Tree Moon here as we head over to Nut Clip. Going to be the big question mark here in the kingdom. Obviously, there's plenty of places where you can, you know, mess up, lose some time, especially if you're taking a death anywhere, but Nut Clip's kind of the big question mark. He lines up. Seems to be good here. Is indeed out of bounds. Ooh, taking a bonk in the out of bounds movement, though. Ooh, and a fierce bonk there for Sledge, heading up to the Tree Moon. Definitely some difficult movement there. Can't blame him for taking a fall, but a little bit rough for our Kirby donkey friend trying to make his way through the Wooded Kingdom. Hello, Champ Pal. #1 Champ Cal in our hearts. So EEEK having a little bit of uncharacteristic issues there getting out of the maze. Having to, you know, back it up there. Literally, like, so close to our first Deep Woods in forever. I can't remember if you even had a Deep Woods in this tournament. Maybe, like, once? As EEEK is having a lot of trouble there with the nut as well, so... Oh my god, what is going on Sledge's side? Sledge is falling down. Is this a Deep Woods? It is indeed. Okay, I literally just cursed Sledge. Like, there's, like, the chat saying commentators curse, and then there's, like, you straight up just cursed that guy, and I might have to write an apology letter to Sledge later. So Sledge, proven to us that the Deep Woods does indeed exist. Not too happy about it. Doing some ground pounds on top of the beanstalk there. But hey, at the end of the day, we're out of the Deep Woods. Maybe, you know, we learned a little bit about ourselves down there. Not opting to go for any backup moons. Just going to go straight back up to the surface. Go for Gory Route. Move on. EEEK, on the other hand, getting ready to wrap up here in Wooded. Of course, not doing the Spirit Fight. See that in a lot of more beginner routings of Wooded, but can skip the fight, save a little bit of time. There's a lot of cutscenes involved with those multi-moons. Really what a lot of the high-level routing is, like, obviously not every single routing, particularly in any category, but if you can avoid the cutscenes at any percent, like, that is a very big deal. So he gets a pretty solid flooded pipeways there. Sledge is going in directions and spaces I have not seen a Mario runner go before here in the maze. Apparently not a fan of that Onion Boy. Just gonna go ahead and take him out. EEEK not looking bulletproof there in Wooded Kingdom, but Sledge not having the best time either. Say that for certain. Anytime you end up in Deep Woods, all bets are off to what's going to happen next. Sledge is having some struggles with even the most basic things right now. Needs to take maybe a mental reset. Here in the Cloud Kingdom, taking out Bowser. Sledge, you are too far away from that edge, buddy, and oh my god, just barely making it in. Holy cow. Isn't that area Deep Woods there if you fall, or is that a death? I don't even remember. That could have been really, really bad for Sledge either way. Luckily able to show his trick jumping prowess and just stay in bounds. Very good. EEK here making his way over to the Lost Kingdom. Well, the champion of our hearts, Jason Urban Arts, has arrived. Hello, Jason. Sledge. Again, with the movement I have never quite seen before. Innovating, perhaps. First torpedo getting queued up here for EEK. And nails it. Very nice. Looks like EEK is almost going to wrap up Lost Kingdom before Sledge can even set foot in there. That's very unfortunate. Sledge having a very, very rocky wooded kingdom. Just now making it a cloud and cannot make it over the cloud bridge, unfortunately. Oh no. Trying to go for cloud boost. Instead, finding the hole. EEK has indeed made his way into Night Metro here. Very clean so far, making it up to the Girder Moon. Sometimes for some reason referred to as the Sandwich Moon. I don't know what kind of sandwiches people in the community are eating, but if your sandwich is containing heavy metals such as steel or iron, probably reconsider your dietary choices. I'm not a physician or a dietitian, but that's my advice to you. Sledge attempting to go for that vault dive there to get over the gap. Struggles with it for a moment, but does back it up nicely. EEK gets the Yeet of Faith. No problem. He heads up. Take out the Mecha Wiggler. We've seen a lot of players, even higher caliber players in the tournament, getting 3-cycled. Like, it's a bit of a meme sometimes. It's like, oh yeah, players never 3-cycle. And then you see it happen, and it's like, oh, that still does happen at this level. That is crazy. I think EEK should be able to clean up here. One more ball to go. Does nail it. A little bit on the edge there, but was a pretty wacky pattern. I think we can give EEK a pass here. Eek has turned on the lights here in Metro Kingdom. Very interesting choice of movement to start out. Gonna go ahead and assume that was not intentional. Absolutely nailing that beginning jam there. Crazy. How does he do it? And does drive by. I mean, that's kind of cool too. That dram strat, am I right? He taking a pretty fierce bonk there, entering into the girder here, but does make it in there in the end. Not a huge deal. Sledge on his way up to the top of City Hall. I want to see a nice clean night metro from Sledge. Has been having some struggles so far in the race. Hopefully those struggles are behind him. He is cruising pretty fast here. Ooh, but a nasty bonk there at the end. A little bit of a sour cap to an otherwise decent climb there. When I say decent, I mean like decent for a like very high level. Going for it, the Goomba Hex strategy is definitely not easy. Going ahead and capturing some memories there, or flying back to the Odyssey. Oh, excuse me, we're not quite there yet. We have some moons to go. Awkward moment. That's where the co-commentator comes in handy. Eek into the people's room. Gonna opt to just go for the standard strat in this room. Totally understandable. First people's room is quite tight. Alright, so Eek here entering into Snow Kingdom. Gonna be going to robbing Toad before we enter Shiveria Town. Eek making his way into the Blowy Joey room here. See if he can make some nice cycles. For that triple jump. Very nice stuff, getting the boost. Nice looking camera manip here too as well. That's some very nice stuff from Eek there. Kind of what we expect. Fortunately, taking a bit of damage there at the beginning of the Goomba Moon, so... Getting the Goomba Vectors, that is nice, of course, but... Gonna have to take a little bit of an L here with the damage refill on this moon. Not a huge deal for sure. Didn't really impact the race too much, but... Is a little bit annoying for sure for Eek. Oh. Sledge absolutely abusing Mario there, just throwing his face into a steel beam. Not what you like to see. Unfortunate snow jam miss there for Eek. Not really going to be enough to hype up the quote-unquote comeback from Sledge, but definitely showing some chinks in the armor. Alright, so on to Seaside Kingdom here. Gonna be barreling on through. How many roadblocks set in Eek's way in this kingdom? Can of course mess up Fish Dip, but that's not really a huge time loss. You know, you're max losing like 8-9 seconds when you incorporate how much time you lose on the setup. Not a huge deal at this point of the game. We can't let off the gas pedal too much. Sledge managed to get the out of bounds clip there with the moon. Very nice. Oh man, so just unable to connect with the moon there. I mean, a lot of this very little stuff, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but it really adds up when you're making these mistakes time and time again in every kingdom. It adds up to a pretty significant chunk of time. We're definitely in the range where E could definitely walk away with 100% of the points in this matchup. We'll have to see if Sledge can manage to salvage some amount of dignity here. I think a win is probably out of the question unless E has a Mario meltdown somewhere. But we have seen that before from some of the top players, and Sledge, unfortunately, going a little bit too ham on the Goomba Vector is going to take a death in the Goomba room. Oh my god, opting to go crazy with the Goomba Vectors yet again. Dude has no fear. Honestly terrifying. Those vectors are really, really scary. Anytime I've ever even thought about trying them out, I've just completely thrown myself off the cliff. Alright, so Luncheon Kingdom here is definitely a spot where he could stand to lose some time. Sledge does nail that Snowdram there to wrap up Snow Kingdom. But I'm sure Eek will still end up going for Spiritless Luncheon. Although he certainly could just avoid it. Sledge, for some reason, down on the ground, not quite making it over to the Odyssey. This is not supposed to be the hard part of Snowdram. Interesting backup. I would have just been warping to the Odyssey, but apparently Sledge knows more than I do. Knows where the wind gust is, backs it up. Very nice job in the slots for Eek. Having all 5 moons. Heading out of the shop. And into town here. Very nice forest room farm. Our big purple cat Eek on the right hand side. Sledge is cruising down in the water section of Seaside. We'll see if he can make up a little bit of time here going for out of bounds. Definitely can't afford to miss it. Okay, just gonna miss it. That's all good. I think went for a really, really fast clip there and wasn't able to make it happen. I think Sledge is just trying to swag out at this point, which is definitely a fair call. Can't fault him for that. Eek cooking up a bowl of moon soup here. Grabbing 2 from the turnips. Sledge is just wrapping up seaside kingdom here. Gonna have to go for fish clip. Shouldn't be too big of an issue. Just don't try to go too fast. It's plenty of distance away from the fish. And is out of bounds. Very nice stuff. Nice Invisiblock from EEEK. Anxious to keep himself afloat. Find the Invisiblock and make his way on top of it and over the sea of Pepto-Bismol, which can be a little bit hot, can burn your booty. I want to know what Nintendo developer decided that they were going to make the soup water like bright neon pink. Like, what food have you ever eaten that was that color? I can't think of a single thing. And people always call it Pepto-Bismol, and I think that's because Pepto-Bismol is literally the only edible product that is that color. A little bit strange. Either way, EEEK is wrapping up Luncheon Kingdom right as Sledge is headed into the first moon here. EEEK, of course, having to do the timer challenge, but this is a really long kingdom, right? So the fact that EEEK is ready to pull out as Sledge is just now making his way in really shows you how big this gap has grown here. We only have a couple kingdoms left. EEEK re-grabbing his hat here, going to be globing and heading off to the Ruined Kingdom. So EEEK has arrived in our favorite kingdom, Ruined Kingdom. Other commentators will talk about UA in this kingdom. I will not. This is the most important kingdom in the entire speedrun, and we have to give it our full attention. EEEK here saves Captain Toad. Very beautiful 2D man there, giving us plenty of coins. Of course, uncovering a few of these hearts here, so we're going to intentionally take damage on this guy's head in order to save a little bit of time to get your caps a little bit quicker onto those swords. But you're taking damage, and you want to make sure you fill up your hearts. You don't want to die. That is not a good time. I have seen players die in races in the Ruined Kingdom fight. And I know what you're thinking. Those players, they probably had like a 110, a 115. No, I have seen players edging on the, like, very precipice of sub-hour die in the Ruined Kingdom fight. I think I won't go any further. I don't want to rub salt in the wounds, as Sledge is taking a little bit of a booty burn there. The Pepto-Bismol a bit too hot for him. Does make it out to the other side. One more cycle here for EEEK. That's a lot of swords. Can he manage to pull them all by the time the dragon attacks? I think he can, because this fight is actually incredibly easy. At least when you're a speedrunner, you played the fight about a bazillion times. After your, like, 5th to 10th dragon fight, it's pretty hard to die on this fight. Especially with all the hearts they give you. It's kind of ridiculous. But regardless, EEEK has collected the multi-moon and saved what's left of the Ruined Kingdom, theoretically. Or maybe just beat up the residents. Who knows? EEK is headed off to Bowser's now. Perhaps a little bit of a victory lap going to happen in Bowser's unless he has some sort of a meltdown. There is a large chunk of time that would need to be made up for Sledge to come back. Not impossible, but it's very, very unlikely at this point we see a comeback from Sledge. Sledge supporters, I don't know where you're at. The chat energy is not there for Sledge, unfortunately, and I think that's where the main downfall for Sledge was today. A real tragedy. I will remind you guys that Urban Arts has sponsored this event, thrown out a $1,000 prize pool. Really appreciate all their contributions to the speedrunning community. I know everybody else appreciate that as well. Make sure to follow them on Twitter. Make sure to check them out. See all the fantastic things they are doing for their students. Getting them ready for college. Not everybody can go to college, but Urban Arts trying to make it happen for more and more students in America, young people. They gotta get their educations. Very important stuff. EEK managing to dispatch the ogre there as Sledge is grabbing the final multi-moon here in Luncheon. Will be the final moons that he collects here. Before heading off to Ruined. Ooh, EEK unable to make this connection with the shard here. A few down throws, and these are down throws on a Procon, right? So they're taking some extra time. You gotta do the ground pound. You can't just straight up down throw, but not the end of the world, certainly. A little bit of an unfortunate blemish on those otherwise decent shards there from EEK. Ooh, and EEK actually having some trouble with the Bowser Dram there. Having to back it up. Luckily, it's very, very hard to die if you're paying attention. You start falling down, you've got your cap right over the wire, you just take that controller, teleport back up to the surface. Is a little bit of a time loss, but not the end of the universe for sure. As we head up to the bunnies fight here. Sledge taking out the dragon here. On an earlier phase. Op can go for Topper first, so gonna be hopefully seeing the what's it called? Sarbamba, very cool stuff. Taken out Harriet quite speedily. We are rocketing towards the end here. EEK. Final climb up to the Mecha Brutal fight. And then we just got Moon to go. Pokio climb going very well for Eek here as he heads up to the final Mecha Brutal fight. Sledge just touching down. Bowser's Kingdom has quite a bit of ground to cover still. Surely we don't see some sort of mech meltdown out of Eek. He's a very consistent runner. Definitely be a shocker. Climb definitely in the green here for Eek. Final globe for Eek here as he heads out of Bowser's Sledge. Now making it to the end of the Shard's mood. Does get oh, okay. Unable to grab the Moon Shard, unfortunately, but does break the box without a capture on the bird, which is a nice little highlight there. On into the Moon Kingdom. Eek getting some nice vectors there to start things off. We roll our way towards the cathedral. I'm sure we'll see a one wall at Moon Cave skip. Pretty standard now at this level of play. Which is pretty great because it opens up a little bit more of a door for some mistakes. Obviously players getting very good at this point and having some trouble here with it as I say that. And opting to just go for the old school method. Doesn't want to risk anything, and I think that's a fair call. It'd be very, very hard to throw this race at this point, but why start trying? Especially when you have this large of a lead. Just get the two wall skip and move on. I was gonna say, you know, because you're doing one wall skip and you're doing your jump dive sort of towards the abyss, sometimes you can see players just jump dive right off the edge. Which is very, very awesome. It's very nostalgic to the times of old when it was very common to lose runs in that way. Especially in lower level events. But Eek here is no low level gamer. He's on to the final Bowser fight. will surely signal the end of the game. Nothing could possibly come after the final Bowser fight in a Mario game. That's it. That's the end. 100%. Sledge having trouble getting the triple jump quite how he wanted it, but making it work regardless. Oh, goodness. Some interesting movement there that you wouldn't recognize, you know, in most runs, just because most players end up going for the Crate Moon while Sledge opts to go for the Pokio Jam typically. Trying to go super speed with the Pokio right now. Sledge is literally the BTT at the moment. Unfortunately, unable to make things connect, but EEK onto the escape sequence. Will we see a 2DSS attempt? I want to see it at EEK. I want to see a solid 2DSS. I think he has it in him. Come on, EEK. Tragic. Have to have a word with EEK in the post game. All right. I don't think I've seen a chat message since Last Kingdom, but I gotta say, if there's no cat jams in the chat on this cat jam sequence, we might just have to wrap it up. You know, week 11, that's enough. I don't know if we need any more. You know, I don't know if we need playoffs necessarily. Let's see some cat jams in the chat. Please, Copium, Sledge, somehow on the ground. Sledge, what are you doing down there, buddy? Spezzy single-handedly saving the SMO League playoffs as Sledge falls down. Unfortunate stuff. Sledge unable to stay on the mech here. Does manage to make it back up. Oh my god, what is happening on my screen? My eyeballs are not used to seeing this much carnage. EEK taking down all 4 pillars, ending the game, and perhaps earning himself the full amount of points here in this race. Pulling off a sub-hour. Very good stuff. Very beautiful. Very powerful. EEK. That is it for him in the regular season. So, Sledge here, finishing off the mech. See if he opts to do any more funny business throughout the route. We've seen him do some pretty crazy stuff, I'm not gonna lie. Seems pretty committed to showing off at least something here or there. Everybody in the chat room, please remember exclamation point Spezzy in the chat. Thank this man for saving the entire SMO League with that one singular cat jam. Literally saved the entire league. Very impressive stuff. All right, let's see how this moon goes for Sledge. Vector's a tad bit off target, but makes it over with the cat bounce. Oh, not able to make things connect there with the one wall. Unfortunately, taking a bonk there at the end. It's looking pretty solid, though. Okay. We're not over the edge, though, so that's good. That's a positive. That's a silver lining right there. I love to see it. Sledge here to break up the wedding. Bowser gladly giving him some boxing gloves. I'm not really sure. I guess just a man of honor. You love to see that. Alright, Sledge unloading the body shots on Bowser. Getting a nice little early pause there. Pause buffer. Making sure, you know, sure he's ready for that cutscene. So, as signified by the timer, we have ticked past the 5-minute mark, so Sledge gonna be forfeiting all the points from this match to EEEK. But not the end of the world, as Sledge was already statistically eliminated from the tournament beforehand. And no endless 2DSS attempts from Sledge on the losing side of a race. You'd love to see that. Oh my god, why did I have to say anything? A-press not coming in, unfortunately. Alright, here we go. Now that I said that, Sledge is for sure going to go for 2DSS and nail it first try. 100%. 100%. True OGs remember the Hey There 2DSS showcase of 2021. Alright, managed to get that jump off this time. Very strange how the other blocks just kind of explode. I guess it's not that weird because it's kind of necessary for the animation. One more time through the cat jam room. I'm not going to put a do or die necessity on the cat jams, but I'd like to see some cat jams in the chat regardless for Sledge. Sledge putting up a fight here. Not giving in until the bitter end. Oh my god, please. Do not die. The rat jam's coming in hot. I'm here for the jam variety. Cool Cat Gang has many emojis. Spezzy. Oh, that is the end of the race, apparently. Sledge immediately turning off his console. Please do not do that in the future. Makes the restream really awkward, but that's okay, you know, it's all good. All good. So, chat. Are you excited? We have one more race coming up tonight. Lightron versus Jambo. 59.04 versus a 57.58. Jambo a little bit out of practice from what I've heard. So we'll see how things roll off in that matchup. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. We're almost there at 4:30 anyways, so don't go anywhere. Maybe you have time to go get a snack, maybe use the restroom, but we'll be right back in just a few minutes with Lightron versus Jambo. You won't want to miss it. Stick around.